I'm sitting on the kitchen floor, crying with my head between my knees. It's 2018, June. There's a chef's knife a few inches away from me. I'm depressed. I'm lonely. I'm thinking of ending it all. Thankfully, I don't follow through, and just 3 months later, I'm told, Lennox, you are so positive. How did I go from suicidal and depressed to positive and thankful? I hacked my brain for happiness in just 4 minutes a day. If you complete this lesson, you can do the same. The Excuse Epidemic. The Excuse Epidemic, or EE, is the widespread tendency to blame others and make excuses about your position in life. As more people make excuses, they become normalized. And then our desire to fit in leads us to start making excuses too. This is not the way. Here's why. Victim mentality. One side effect of the excuse epidemic, you feel like a victim. You feel helpless and unable to change your circumstances. I felt like a victim in January 2018. I was just dumped. I had an unplanned pregnancy. I got an STI. And to top it off, someone had just driven into the back of my car while it was parked and it was written off. I blamed others for all of this bad stuff that happened to me and didn't think about the consequences of my own actions or what role they had to play in any of it. Negativity and lack of joy. The excuse epidemic makes us negative and diminishes joy. It gets worse. We're actually hardwired for negativity. And I quote, "The brains of humans and other animals contain a mechanism that is designed to give priority to bad news. By shaving a few hundredths of a second from the time needed to detect a predator, this circuit improves the animal's odds of living long enough to reproduce." And that's from Daniel Kahneman. Rest in peace. This survival mechanism is known as negativity dominance, and it started taking its toll on me in 2018. I'm sitting in the waiting room to see the doctor about my depressive symptoms and start ruminating. I'm constantly stressed about university. I never see my friends. My hands are always shaking. I'm losing a lot of weight. Nothing brings me joy anymore, and everything just feels like a chore. And then, nothing. I fall asleep. A few minutes later, I wake up to the sound of my name. The doctor's standing over me.
It's time for your appointment, Lennox. Are you okay?
Huh? Oh, right. Yeah, this is a normal thing for me, I say as I blink my eyes open and follow the doctor into her office. But none of this was normal. I needed to find a solution. Grateful gazing. Grateful grazing, GG, is the practice of training your brain to notice and appreciate the small joys in life. Here is why GG is the solution. Snow groove neuroplasticity, SGN. SGN has two parts. First part is neuroplasticity. This refers to the ability of the brain's neural networks to change through growth and reorganization. It's essentially when the brain is rewired to function differently. Next subpart is snow groove. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time. Think of the brain as a hill covered in snow and thoughts as sleds gliding down that hill. As one sled after another goes down the hill, it creates a groove in the snow. The more times any one sled goes down, the deeper the groove, and the more likely it is that future sleds will go down the same path. That quote is from Sharon Begley. When we combine those two subparts together, we get SGN, and this is the concept of training your brain to form new positive mental grooves that guide your thoughts towards appreciation. This is how I overcame depression in 2018. It's July. I'm sitting at the dining table across from a life coach named David, explaining why I've been feeling depressed lately. I finish my piece and wait for David to say something back, but he doesn't. He just stares at me, and there is an uncomfortably long pause. An eternity passes, and David finally says,
"Lennox, I want you to start a gratitude journal. You're going to write down 20 things you're grateful for every single day."
20 things? I question. Like 20.
20 things. 20. I want to see 140 different things by this time next week. They can be anything, like how the flowers are arranged on the dining table right now. That's one thing.
So that's what I did. I wrote down 140 different things I was grateful for every week, 20 per day, and I didn't stop for 6 months. And to be honest, I didn't think it was doing anything until this happened. Enhanced positivity and happiness. Grateful gazing helps you navigate life's challenges with a positive attitude. I realized this at a festival with two friends in September 2018. Sarah, Abby, and I are in a mosh pit towards the end of the night, and then Abby tells us,
I'm not feeling too well, guys. I'm gonna head home a bit early.
A few minutes later, Sarah and I turn to each other and realize the same thing at the same time. Abby was our lift home. I instinctively say, you know what? We'll find a way. Even if it takes us 2 hours, it'll be a fun way to end a fun day. It'll be an adventure. What Sarah said next changed my life. I doubt she would remember this passing comment because it was so seemingly insignificant, but compared to that moment when I was crying on the kitchen floor, it was everything. As we're standing in the middle of the mosh pit, sweaty, sticky, sore feet, ringing in our ears from all of the music, Sarah, with a surprised yet inquisitive look and a slight tilt of her head, says the following words. Lennox, you are so positive. It caught me off guard because I could never have imagined being called a positive person at this point in my life. But there it was. All the confirmation I needed that gratitude worked, that I had formed new mental grooves and had become a more grateful person. Here is how you can do the same. How to hack your brain for happiness in 5 steps, the 4-minute gratitude game. The 4-minute gratitude game, or 4MGG, turns your negative thoughts into positive ones by writing down 20 things you're grateful for every day. Here's how the 4MGG fits into everything we've discussed so far. Grateful gazing leads to 4MGG, which leads to SGN, snow groove neuroplasticity, which leads to more positivity and overall a happier being. So the more you practice grateful gazing, the easier the 4-minute gratitude game becomes, and vice versa. This is how you play the game. 1. Relocate Notes app. Put the Notes app in your phone's dock or home screen. Create a new note and title it 4-minute gratitude game or 4MGG. Doing this makes the game easy to complete, and it also reminds you to do it. Step 2 is to create an identity intention. An identity intention is one sentence that states how you intend to become your desired identity. Why is an identity intention so important? The 4-minute gratitude game is a daily habit. You're 2 to 3 times more likely to complete a habit if you state when, where, how, and why you're going to complete it. Here's the formula. Identity intention equals on day, at time, I will habit, in location, so I can become identity. Here's an example identity intention. Identity intention equals every day at 10 p.m. I will write down 20 things I'm grateful for at the dining table so I can become a more grateful person. Your task is to create your identity intention at the top of the 4-minute gratitude game notes page. Step 3 is to set a repeating reminder. Use an app, alarm, sticky note, diary, anything you can use to remind yourself to complete the 4-minute gratitude game at the time you've selected. Step 4, start today. Starting is the hardest part. The most valuable skill you can develop is reducing the gap between ideation, for example, wanting to become a more grateful person, and implementation, for example, actually becoming a more grateful person. Develop that skill today by playing the 4-minute gratitude game. Step 5, don't break the chain. Once you write down the 20th thing you're grateful for, go to the day's date for that day and insert next to it a tick emoji. If you don't complete the 4MGG on a given day, instead of inserting a tick emoji, insert a cross emoji. The tick emoji is growing the chain of your habit. The cross emoji is breaking the chain. Don't break the chain. Those are 5 steps to complete the 4-minute gratitude game. Here are a couple of rules about the game. First and most important rule is you must write 140 different things over the course of a week, meaning you can't repeat the same thing on a different day of the week. Second rule is to gradually reduce how many things you write. So for month 1 and month 2, write 20 things you're grateful for every single day. In month 3, reduce that number to 15 things per day. In month 4, reduce that number to 10 things per day. Month 5, reduce it to 5 things per day. And finally, in month 6, reduce that number to 3 things per day. This is what I've been doing ever since. And your goal is to grow the gratitude muscle, and then once it's grown, maintain it forever by writing 3 things every day. Simple summary. The excuse epidemic, EE. Blaming others and making excuses about your position in life. Grateful gazing, GG. Appreciating the small joys in life. Snow groove neuroplasticity, SGN. Forming new mental grooves that guide your thoughts towards appreciation. The 4-minute gratitude game, or 4MGG. Writing down 20 things you're grateful for every day in 4 minutes. Identity intention, II. Stating how you intend to become your desired identity. And here is the lesson. It is the one thing you should take away from everything we've discussed so far. Overcome the excuse epidemic through grateful gazing and the 4-minute gratitude game. The formula for this, overcome EE equals GG plus 4MGG. To sign off, here is a quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza. The emotional signature of gratitude means something wonderful is happening to you. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving. Don't deprive yourself of receiving something wonderful. Play the 4-minute gratitude game and keep yourself accountable in a group of like-minded people. And that's actually what my online community provides. Saints College is a tight-knit community of creators just starting out, failing, taking risks, growing together. Links in the description. There are about 40 free spots left. Then the price goes up to $10 per month. Secure yours before someone else takes it. Anyway, that is it for this lesson. If you learned one thing from it, please subscribe to the channel. It's pretty hard to grow a channel in the early days, so your support really means the world. Enjoy the rest of your day and keep it simple until the next one.
Community Acknowledgements. Ryan, Roya, Lauren, Muhammad, Josh, Sarah, Heather, and Matthew. Thanks for your help.